Hello and welcome to the Dream Team Tonic podcast. Hope you've all weathered the storm of Gameweek 14, Sun Dream Team. It's been a blowy one, eh, Ben? How you doing?
A bit windy, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit wet.
That Saturday was eventful, wasn't it? With you was watching the live stream, wasn't it, with me and Tony?
Yeah. I caught the end of it.
But obviously we couldn't move it back.
You know.
Yeah. We'll come on to your team in a sec. We didn't really help you, did we? But yeah, no, it was a strange one because then the deadline moved to later from the second game. Although a lot of other games just kept the deadline the same, didn't they? Which was kind of strange. But yeah, it's makes a change for Dream Team to actually be kind of on the ball for that compared to other games. So yeah, fair play to them. Shout out to a few people in the chat. Good turnout actually. So again, what we've got today, El Sacchio on at the minute. We're recording this on Monday night. Wolves versus West Ham is still in play, but judging by the amount of people in the chat, it can't be a thriller, I think. So David F is joining us. We've got Roberto, who needs a hug because he's had a bad week. Miss Noopy, Stephen Wow, Nobbles, Andy Barnett, Ian Curry, Graham, Mark Tavares, Nathan Wisby, Plevner, Nathan Reeve, Philip Harrison, and all the way from Venezuela, James Fricker. Yeah, James was on the stream as well, wasn't he? That was great.
Yeah, good to see him.
Yeah. But no, cheers everyone in the chat, our YouTube channel members and Patreon members. If you want to support the pod, there's a link in the description below for our Patreon, or you can hit the join button to become a YouTube member. Early access to pods, live episodes like this one, Ben's fixture ticker that's been updated with all the FA Cup fixtures coming up, and you also had your monthly article just come out as well, didn't you, for players for December?
Yeah,
got a lot going on. And what else we got coming up in the new year?
Patreon Cup. Yeah, Patreon Cup's coming up. What else have we got? They got the Second Chance League. For anyone that's had a bad start to the season, we start from scratch, and we start from I can't remember what game we're going to be doing it from, but we're going to be probably, I don't know, for example, let's have a look, probably around game week 20 or something like that. We'll start again. So Patreon Cup, there'll be some cash prizes for the winner and the runner-up, and there'll be a trophy for the winner as well. You were the winner last year, weren't you, Scott?
Yeah, I was the winner. Where's my trophy? I didn't get that. That should be on the shelf here. Yeah,
that's how I got to get on to Tony about that.
Yeah, I need to have it at least here for the rest of the season, so I'll try and sort that out.
He's just going, it's only Scott, I'll just let him off.
Yeah.
We're both getting him a trophy.
And
to be fair, I had to bug him for 2 years to get mine when I won it.
He's in the chat actually. Tony's somehow in the chat. He's saying check the info. He's put it in there. So we'll confirm the prizes. He's got cash prizes, but there'll be a shield to the winner. He's typing. Hang on, we'll come back to it. But yeah, you've got to try and take it off of us, because did I win the last one, and then did you win the one before that? Is that right?
I won the first one.
Oh, okay.
Aman won it the second year, and you won it the third year.
Okay, so
yeah, it's like Champions League style, group stages, and then knockout stages. Your game week versus the other manager's game week points total goes through.
So if you join the Patreon, I guess before the new year, you'll be able to get entered into that free entry. So he just sent me the details. Actually, Tony says, "Mate, this is quite hard to do while we're live, but I'll do it. I'll read it out anyway." So he said, "Welcome to the Patreon Shield. Dream Team Tonic is proud to kick off the rebranded Patreon Shield, an exclusive for members only in the Cup, where finest managers battle it out for glory, bragging rights, and a prize pot. Every Patreon member and YouTube member gets free entry, so you're part of the Tonic family. What's at stake? So winner gets £100 and the prestigious Patreon Shield. The runner-up will get £25. We'll post the rest of the details in the description below, and we'll be able to sign up as well. Should we have a look and see how your team got on, the Gameweek 14 so far?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Right.
Yeah.
There you are.
72 points. 1,738 now. Another small red arrow, 378th overall. Emi Martinez with a clean sheet and goal, 7 points. Mazraoui was benched, but come on and got 2 points. Got a few benching here. So, yeah. Brought in Watkins and Cash for the lovely double of Southampton and Red Bull Leipzig. And they were both benched.
Horrible.
Can't write it, can you? Can't write it. Yeah. So Cash didn't play at all. And Watkins got 2 points. I was initially going to bring in Joe Gomez. But then I was on. I come and watch the end of the stream, and then obviously I found out Liverpool was postponed. I was like, I've got 3.1 for a defender. I was looking around, and I was like, oh, Cash is 3 million. He's got a nice double. We'll go with that. I think I mentioned about going a different way in the stream. I said go for an Arsenal defender and Rodgers instead.
It was Saliba, wasn't it?
Yeah, Saliba would have been the guy going in. He didn't get the clean sheet, but he got a goal. Yeah, and he would have been a nice hold for the next few fixtures as well. And then I probably would have been able to move on Martinez to get a cheaper goalkeeper in Forster and move the money that way. But I think I'm going to have to keep Martinez now at the moment, the way my team's laying. Yeah, so Timber, 2 points. Played left back, didn't he, instead of right back?
Yeah, I think that upset the whole sort of dynamic, I think, of that right side.
Yeah. Obviously, with Salah not playing against Everton, he was going to be my captain. I ended up captaining Saka. 7 points, double to 14. Not bad considering he didn't score. He did have a goal chalked off though, didn't he? It was close.
That was so frustrating watching that.
Yeah. And the assist would have been my Martinelli as well off the bench. Another benching. Yeah, so he got 0 points. Fernandes got 10. Palmer smashed in 25 points. 2 penalties and did he get the assist points?
Yeah, got the assist for a shot against the defender to Enzo.
Yeah, he looked class though, didn't he? Yeah, Watkins 2. Haaland 10 points. Got a goal. They've actually crossed the ball into him and he headed it in.
Yep.
We were on about on the last pod that Alan Shearer was going on about they weren't crossing the ball into him. Yeah, and he scored a good header.
That's the thing with Doku, isn't it? He doesn't ever know when the pass is coming in, when Doku's out on the left-hand side, sort of cutting in and out, doing step overs. But yeah, Núñez just pinged it straight in, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, so not too bad considering I had quite a few low-scoring players.
Yeah, that's right. He was really unlucky with Watkins there. I think we've got Roberto, who brought in Watkins, and captained him this week. Also got Stephen Wow in the chat, who captained Watkins as well. Was you tempted to captain him? I would have been if I brought him in, I think.
No, I wasn't actually. I like the differential of him just being in my team rather than going all out on. I just thought Saka would be safe-ish because even if he doesn't score, he's got a chance of other ways of getting points. And like he did, he got 7 points, 3 bonus points, 1 big chance created and a shot on target. Could have been a lot more, obviously, if that goal counted. But yeah, decent start, and then he's got Monaco midweek at home.
You did say last pod, actually. I remember you saying you wouldn't captain him. It was a differential enough as a pick, didn't you? Yeah. I did the same with the Saka armband for the same reason as you. Really, I was looking at maybe going Haaland, and I was thinking with him, it's either sort of boom or bust, isn't it? You're gonna get a goal, a hole, or you could just get a complete blank. And I was thinking, I'm in an all right position. As long as Saka's getting points on the board, I think it'll be okay. Yeah, that's a decent week though, really. I said to you, didn't I, when you said that you had Cash didn't play and Watkins didn't play, I was expecting your game week points to be worse than that, but that's not a bad return, is it, really?
Yeah, the ones that didn't start did all right off the bench, apart from Martinelli, but yeah, that got chalked off the assist.
But then Martinelli will start Monaco, and then you should get the start out of Cash and Watkins now. The Mazraoui one, I think, shocked a lot of us as well, didn't it? Because it seemed like he'd been pretty safe.
Yeah, he seemed to be giving everyone a chance, didn't he? The new manager. And just some players, I just think, why even bothering with them? Just don't even bother with them. You know what I mean? Mazraoui's been class, and he's been class before even the new manager come in. Just keep him in the team.
Yeah, agree. 77 for me. 54th. So I think I still went up about 10 places, luckily. But yeah, Muric was a bit of a heartbreaking one. I was watching Arsenal at the time. And then I kept looking and I was thinking, God, he's getting near. He's getting near to that clean sheet. And then, I saw the goal notifications go off and I thought, God's sake. And then two in no time at all, wasn't it? They conceded. So that was a bit gutting. But again, he gets a couple save points. I think he's really close to bonus as well. Mazraoui, same as you. Just obviously didn't play. Didn't start. Timber 2-pointer. And then Dallo as well. 3 points. So at the back, pretty underwhelming across the board. Saka captain, same as you. Bruno goal. I bought in Ødegaard, despite saying he'd been. Well, I thought he was a bit overpriced, but with Foden going down and being about £1 million more, I thought I'll just take the chance on going Arsenal heavy this week because I wasn't really inspired by any of the other sort of attacking picks in midfield. So I took Foden out for Ødegaard and I took João Pedro out for Havertz, who got an assist. I don't think he had his best game, but 6 points again is okay. 6 points up on those moves. And then Haaland, Vice and Salah as well. So same as you, really. It's just the Ødegaard pick. I wasn't that sure, and I'm still not that sure on it, really. But we'll talk about what our sort of plans will be for the week, I guess, within the questions, I think. So should we go straight on to some questions?
Yeah, let's go.
Right, quick reminder there on how you can become a channel member. Just hit that join button. You get the Discord access, early access to the pods, and of course, Patreon Cup that we just mentioned. And then the Patreon link is in the description below as well. Leave a like, subscribe if you're not already. But let's go. So, questions. Ian Curry first. So, do you think with some surprise benchings yesterday after the Prem double game week that playing Max captain over the Christmas double game week is a good idea? So, obviously, we're starting to see a few dodgy benchings and lineups with the games coming thick and fast. Watkins and Cash, like you had. Digne for Villa as well was benched. You had Gordon for Newcastle. Obviously, Mazraoui. And then even, City rotate anyway, don't they? But I thought Doku and Grealish probably were going to start after their good performance the other day. But yeah, all over the place with the lineups. Would it put you off your booster strategy? We're both thinking about game week 16.
I don't think it will affect the top players. Like the fringe players will get rotated, I think. But if you need to win, you're going to play your best players, aren't you? So you're going to play your Sakas, you're going to play Haaland, Salahs, Palmers. I think they'll all start. So for like captaincy, I don't think I would play a max captain that week. I really like the game week 19 for max captain, just because the FA Cup third round is so unpredictable. There'll be someone that will play 2 games and go off, and you've got him in your team, and then you can reap the rewards. I wish I still got it now, really, because everyone went off last week, didn't they, with the max captain?
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter who you captained.
So if you saved it for like that, say you saved it for that cup week, you'd
Mm.
keep most of the big hitters in, but then would you take I don't know, say like an Nkunku, would you maybe take a chance on bringing him in, and you could end up getting him as your captain and playing max captain, whereas you would never dream of captaining someone that risky normally, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. That's a good idea. I don't really like excuse me. I don't really like picking players with one game, but I can see the benefit of doing it. Like Chelsea smashing Noah the other month, 8-0. So if you get the right player, it can work. But then it's like booking a transfer in straight away, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
So you're just hoping, like they've got Shamrock next week, haven't they? You're hoping you get the right player that's going to smash. Oh, you would imagine they'll beat Shamrock pretty well. So, yeah, I can see it's worth a gamble. The match captain as well, it might pay off. Might get a hat trick out of someone who's of a big differential.
Yeah. But you're not put off though, like say, I know he said max captain, but say any booster. Gameweek 16 looks a pretty nice Premier League double game week. Not worried about rotation, really.
I wouldn't be worried because, like I said, most of the players you've got in your team are talismans.
Yeah.
So I don't imagine they'll be rotated. I think it's a good week to use the goal booster.
Yeah, you got to be careful with what players you've got because if it is a Martinelli, a Garnacho, those kinds, I wouldn't want to play it with them. But yeah, if you've got your nailed guys in there, I think it's fine. I'm still planning to go ahead with that Game Week 16 goal bonus, I think. Grommers says Eze's got some double game weeks ahead and is due a haul. What do you think as a differential? I'll go to the FF stuff. Fixture ticker there. So he's got Brighton away and Arsenal away in the Carabao Cup in 15. Not great, is it, that one?
Not great, no.
Followed by Arsenal at home and Bournemouth away in 16. I'd say, again, that's not a great pairing. But then it gets a little bit better. So Southampton at home in 17. Chelsea, tough, but at home in 18. But then this one, I was going to ask you actually, what's the abbreviation on this one? You did the FA Cup. Is it Stoke or is that Stockport or someone? Who's
Stockport.
That? Stockport and Leicester. So,
the Palace, Stockport, yeah.
Yeah, Leicester are rubbish as well, aren't they? So that's
Hey, we're undefeated under Rude. Rude boy.
That's a better looking double at least, isn't it? What do you reckon? Hold off till then?
He's one of them players where even if he doesn't score a goal, he could still come away with 8 points. So from one game. So I don't mind it. And you would imagine, well, Palace have been playing a strong side in the cups. So in the Carabao Cup. So you would imagine he'd be nailed for 2 games a week. I know it's not the best fixtures, but in this game, it's not like FPL where you've got to get a goal or assist to get anything out of the game. You can come away with chances, create tackles, and bonus points. So I don't mind it. And look at me, I've got Martinelli who keeps playing 1 game out of 2 every week.
Yeah.
So if I had Eze in there, he'd probably score more points than Martinelli, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think
Even though he probably won't score or assist, he'll just tick along with the extra points he can get from bonus and chances created, and obviously being a talisman as well. And he's got the chance of taking a penalty if him or Mateta decide who's going to take it next time. Because Mateta took one against Leicester, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind it. He blanked. He got 2 points against City, but that's Man City, isn't it? I think that's quite a rare occurrence, though. 8 points against Ipswich. Still shot on target, assist, 2 big chances. and then 1-1 against Newcastle, 3 bonus points in just 65 minutes. So, yeah, it doesn't have
What was
to...
his PPM against Man City? I'm just going to check now.
It's got to be close, isn't it? He's usually there.
So he only got 1 PPM, but he got taken off after 72 minutes.
Yeah.
I wonder why he got taken off early.
Not sure, but yeah, he's always a good option, isn't he? It's just whether or not with those fixtures, is there someone better you could get with a double, or like if you are comparing to like a talisman from another team, like an Mbuemo maybe, or Bowen, someone like that. But yeah, I don't mind it. I'll definitely have an eye on it for 19, but I don't think I'd go earlier. Maybe Southampton.
It's 5 million as well, isn't he?
Yeah, bang on 5 million. So yeah, it's a big outlay in it, but you do know he is reliable. He's done it for a while.
Yeah.
We've got a very down Roberto in the chat, and this is his question. So, how do you get over a horror game week when everything's gone wrong for you and it's gone right for your closest competitor? So he mentioned that he bought in Ollie Watkins and Gabriel from Arsenal this week. What would you do when you have a bad game week?
Just try and move on and forget about it. You can't dwell on it. Anyway, it's only halfway through the game week. You might have a good midweek and you might catch up. Just got to move on and start again next week and start from where you are and try and make your team better than your opponent's team. Just keep looking at the fixtures and try and get more fixtures out of players, because you might get 4 for 2 over his player or something like that over the next 2 game weeks. Things like that. I won't worry about it. It's a long season.
It happens as well, doesn't it? Like sometimes you will make the right moves and it just won't pay off straight away.
Yeah.
Just don't do anything rash after that, though, because I think if you start chasing or trying to like counterbalance the moves that you've made before, that's when you start doing stupid stuff. Just keep making decent decisions. Go out for a walk, clear your head. Text the bloke, say you're a chancer. You're lucky this week, but next week it's back on. Yeah, the Gabriel one may have been a bit of a learning curve, isn't it? Because he was ruled out injured, wasn't he, at Arsenal? Arteta doesn't tell you anything, but I feel like maybe if in doubt, go for the guy like Saliba or something that you know is available. But I mean, the Ollie Watkins one is just pure unlucky, isn't it? Really, it could come at any moment, that benching.
I'm starting to think it's Southampton, because it was Trossard against Southampton.
Yeah.
And then I think I had some. Yeah, Jackson's been rested against Southampton. So it must be Southampton is like, it's only Southampton. We'll rest them this week.
Yeah, maybe if we're thinking this game's easy, let's target it. Maybe the managers are thinking this game's easy, let's rotate.
Yeah, well, look at in the FA Cup, right? You'll look at the fixtures and you go, there's a Tamworth fixture in there. There's Accrington, Stanley, Salford. I'll just smash into the teams that are playing them crap teams. But the top players probably won't play that game. So you might get, I don't know, a random starter from someone from the youth team or something. So it's probably better to go for like an Arsenal player that week, where they've got 2 home fixtures, but they're playing Man United and Tottenham. But you know that you'll definitely get 2 games out of the best players like Saka.
Yeah. Just to let everyone know, it was tongue-in-cheek. He's fine. He promises. Good on you. Good man.
Good on you, Roberto.
Nathan Reeve, thoughts on getting a Chelsea player like João Felix for the Shamrock home game? Cheers. So we mentioned it briefly. A couple of guys in the Discord done it with success, didn't they, earlier in the season? I think that might have been Felix.
I think Lee had Nkunku. Lee Hooper had Nkunku for a hat-trick. And I think Twed had João Felix.
Yeah, I think Oz might have as well.
Yeah, so yeah, they've done all right out of it, but it's booking transfers in it straight away. I don't know. They've got a lovely double game week the week after with Everton and Fulham, Chelsea. So yeah, it just depends on your team. If you've got no problems and you're happy with your other 10 players, then yeah, go for it. But like, if you've dug a hole and you've got a load of random players in there, then I wouldn't be going for it. You want to start building your team, making sure it's solid before you start doing stuff like that.
Gun to your head, if you had to choose one.
Probably Nkunku.
Yeah, that's what I've put down. 10
I
goals,
remember
2 assists.
I think we talked about it loads of times before. Tottenham were playing Marine FC or something in the FA Cup third round, and we were like, "Oh yeah, Vinicius will play. Carlos for Vinicius will play for Tottenham." Yeah, and we were like, should we bang him in for it? And he went and scored a hat trick, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he did the old Mbappe celebration.
Doing his celebration against like non-leaguers or whatever.
They're all hanging out the windows.
The
flats.
It's great when it pays off, but that's also one that if it goes the other way, you're just kicking yourself, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be Nkunku for me, I think, if I did do it. But at least you know that they will feature as well the following week in some way. I do think with Nkunku, you might get lucky. Maybe with the timing, if Jackson gets his 5th yellow ever, you could end up maybe getting a Prem start as well or something. But it could go the other way if he gets it. He may end up playing in Europe, mightn't he?
Yeah, could have done with Jackson getting the Southampton game and getting a yellow card.
Yeah,
then he would have been out for Brentford Shamrock, and then it would have been steam into Nkunku for the week. Double game week.
Yeah, probably would be him for me though. I don't think Madueke's bad. Like if you wanted to take that punt on it, but then didn't really want to spend too much on it or whatever, 2.9 million for Madueke is quite cheap. But,
do you fancy it?
Nah, I won't do it. Shamrock Rovers unbeaten in 8 games.
Are they?
No pushovers. No. No, I can't imagine they're going to be much good against Chelsea B. But yeah, don't underestimate them. We've got what's up next. CCFC Jack. So he owns Saliba, and while Gabriel is out, it seems like Saliba's adding goals to his own points total. However, once Gabriel's back, do we expect Saliba's goals to dry up? Is it worth the jump from one to another? We will find out whether Gabriel's, well, not for certain, but if Gabriel does play against Monaco, at least we know that he will be back for the weekend. I've not heard anything. We still don't know whether it's an actual injury or if it was still concussion from that overhand right from Fabianski. Arsenal have just literally kept it to themselves, but I did hear that if it was the concussion protocol, I think he should be fine for Monaco. But I don't think they're related. Saliba, I don't think the Saliba scoring the goals has been because Gabriel was out, because the goals that went in, the one against Man United, I think Thomas Partey flicked it on, it hit Saliba on the arse and went in. So it's not like Saliba was doing the routine where Gabriel normally attacks it or anything. And then the same with this one at the weekend. Havertz was actually the guy that got on the header, probably should have scored it himself. But then Saliba sort of poked a toe out and then got the goal. So, yeah, I think it's coincidental, really. It's not worth the transfer, in my opinion. What do you think?
What, to move to Gabriel?
To swap Saliba to Gabriel?
No, I'd be happy just to hold Saliba. Unless you literally have nothing else to do in your team. Then obviously, yes, Gabriel's probably more attacking, but Saliba's a great pick just to leave him in the team at the moment with these fixtures.
Yeah, it does look like Gabriel's been obviously he is the main target on these corners, but last season, Gabriel 3 goals, Saliba 2. The season before, Gabriel 3, Saliba 3. It's close. It's not landslide or nothing. And their points were pretty similar too. So I'll just stick with what you've got. You don't know either. If Gabriel has had an injury and then is coming back, we don't know if he's 100%, whether it could recur or anything like that. So I'll just stick with Saliba. It's safe, I think.
Do you think Saliba will play the cup match?
Obviously, it depends if Gabriel's back or not. But I mean, if Gabriel isn't back and obviously Calafiori's out as well, we're down to the bare bones really. So I think he might have to. I think Saliba might have to play it. Yeah, so I'd stick for sure. And even if I was picking one for next week, if we don't see Gabriel for Monaco, it'd be Saliba. I think, regardless of what Arteta says. Isak or Havertz?
Yeah, it's a tricky one, this, isn't it? If Isak was fit all the time, I'd say Isak. But he could just break down, couldn't he? I mean, yeah, Isak over Havertz as a player, definitely, for me. But he plays for a worse team. But he's probably the main man at Newcastle. So it's tricky because you'd think Arsenal's got a good chance of scoring a lot of goals over these game weeks as well, with Everton at home and Palace at home in the Cup. Then Palace away, Ipswich at home and Brentford away. Newcastle have a decent run as well. They've got Leicester at home, Brentford at home, Ipswich away, Villa at home and Man United away. So you would say the Arsenal run's better, wouldn't you?
I think
if
so,
you're going to hold them for a little bit longer. And yeah, it just scares me having Isak just because he can get injured. Tricky, really tricky.
I think he's the better striker.
Yeah.
He's the better point scorer. He's on pens.
Yeah.
I think, take sort of availability out of it, and I think Isak is much better of a pick. I went Havertz because this week was a double game week, but I think I was going to wait and see how Monaco plays out, and then we've got the big one for the goal bonus. I haven't ruled out maybe swapping it over to Isak if I haven't been happy with how Havertz is, just because of the booster. But availability wise, I just wanted to get points on the board this week, and I was pretty confident that Havertz will get 2. But I'm not sure. If you had to guess, do you think Isak's going to start 2?
I think he will, yeah. I think Newcastle go strong in the Carabao Cup. Got no European games this year. That was my plan as well. When I was planning on going Watkins and then to Isak, but I'm edging towards Havertz at the minute.
Oh, really?
Havertz is currently in my team. Yeah.
Oh.
With my transfers, that's my current plan. But I can change after the midweek games. Yeah,
that's that Monaco game is going to be quite big for the sentiment on what people think of a lot of their players, isn't it? I wasn't. A lot of Arsenal fans are unhappy with Havertz's last game, but it's just the fact that you back Arsenal to. I know they didn't at the weekend, but you back Arsenal to score probably more goals, and they seem like the better functioning team, I think. But it is a really hard one.
3 home games over those next 5 as well.
I do think Isak's more likely to start the Carabao than Havertz. But Havertz has got on as well. He has got on in the last couple.
It's the extra 0.5 that gives me to get a better defender as well. That's what it's edging me towards Havertz as well.
Yeah, if you have Havertz, you can maybe then get to like an Arsenal defender, but you could have to go Isak, and then if you then have to have a lesser team in defence, you have to work it out as a pairing, I guess, don't you?
Yeah.
Nathan in the chat says Isak 100% doubles if he's fully fit. Massive game for Newcastle. That's the bit, though, isn't it? If fully fit, is he? We don't know. We never know. I think he will start both.
Yeah.
Who's up next?
Wilson's back on the bench, isn't he?
Wilson.
Wilson.
He's surely not going to start, though, is he? Either. You never know. That's funny, though. You're considering bringing Havertz. I'm wondering whether I switched Havertz to Isak. So it's got to be close. Gameweek 16. With playing goal bonus in mind, who'd your midfield or ideal midfield be for that game week? So we're both thinking about it. So there's you.
Yeah, I've played mine, but yeah.
Sorry. I keep thinking you were playing it there.
No, definitely Saka with Palace and Ipswich. Obviously, I just think you just got to get talismans in. So Bruno Fernandes, I think, got to be in there. Palmer, they're the three main ones for me. Up front, obviously Salah and Haaland.
I've switched it to mine on the screen, so you can help me with mine.
What was the question again? Just quickly.
So, who would your ideal midfield be?
Yeah. Oh, right.
I'm guessing. I'm guessing most are going to want 3 up top, ideally.
Yeah. Like I say, Havertz. I like Havertz's double as well, like Crystal Palace and Ipswich. Isak's got. We're going on about strikers here again, but like you say, I'm not too sure the fourth midfielder I'd get.
That's the problem I've got here. I've got Ødegaard in there in my midfield at the moment with Saka, Bruno, Palmer, but I don't think I want Ødegaard for the goal bonus.
He's all right though. He could go off, couldn't he? Anthony Gordon could be a good one for the goal bonus. Ipswich and Villa, obviously, you could go for like an Eze, but he's got Arsenal at home and Bournemouth away. It's not easy. Bournemouth are really good at home, aren't they? Maybe a Bowen or something like that, or a Kudus. Brighton at home, Southampton away.
I'll put Kudus on my list here. As a potential. We'll have to obviously see how he does between now and then, and if they've got the same manager between now and then.
Yeah, he's obviously not like scores loads of goals, but he can do really well on the bonus points bonus. But that doesn't get doubled, does it, on the goal bonus?
Yeah, was it extra 3 points a goal?
Yeah,
9 points for a goal.
18 for a captain goal. Who are you thinking?
We've got a question on that, so we'll come to that.
Okay.
At the end, it's one of the last ones, but a couple of names I've put. So this is my scenario. I've got Ødegaard, who I might want to lose. Do you think, if I read out a few names, do you think they're better or worse for goal bonus than? Timing.
Oh yeah. Sorry, just quickly. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne or Foden could be back in form by then as well.
Good point.
Kudus just scored, has he?
Kudus just scored, yeah, just as you said, Kudus.
Well, he doesn't score very often. He's been injured, hasn't he?
That was what I was going to ask you. So who would you say if that you think these players would be better on a goal bonus than Ødegaard? So Diaz from Liverpool, obviously not nailed for 2, but would be playing against a leaky Spurs and Leicester at home.
Yeah.
Prefer Diaz even with a potential 1 start, 1 sub?
Probably, yeah, just because it's goal bonus.
And we've seen him haul before, haven't we? Brennan Johnson from Spurs got 10 goals already. Would you bring him in for it? But it's Liverpool at home, Forest away. That's tough.
No, I think I prefer Ødegaard. I know Johnson's on fire at the minute, but
tough fixtures though.
Yeah, tough fixtures.
Brian. Brian and Bumo.
Brian and Bumo.
Forest at home, Brighton away. On pens.
Tempting.
And then Kudus was the other one that I put down. He has got a goal in him. Oh, it's ruled out.
This
Can't
is live.
Can't celebrate anything, can you now? Game's gone. Yeah, there's options there, though, aren't there? There are a few options there. Maybe you do go for like a Chelsea mid, but Everton, Fulham, but it's only one.
Enzo Fernandez is on fire at the minute, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Nobbles brought him in. Another one that I've said, yeah, but can he keep doing it? And he has. So great pick there. Yeah, there is options. At least that's all you can say about this week, that there are other people to choose from.
Enzo Fernandez is playing the KDH role.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's helped you out for your midfielders. I think we've covered this first part of DT Phillips' question. So he's bringing in Isak for Gameweek 15 and 16. Plans to use his goal bonus in 16. I don't even have a strikers you'd target. So we did reel off a few. What about Jackson? Would you try Jackson, or do you think he might only get the one start with Nkunku there? Well, and he might also get the yellow card, which could be a problem.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, obviously great fixtures, but just potential rotation with Nkunku. I know he's the main man at the minute, but Nkunku's, whenever he plays, he scores, doesn't he?
Yeah. Bowen?
And he did the rotation last Premier League double game, didn't he? And he brought Nkunku in and took Jackson out. Bowen, yeah, I like Bowen.
Brighton, Southampton.
Yeah,
goals
good double.
there.
Good double.
It's a shame he's down as a striker, isn't it? And then even like, I mean, they scammed a few of us, didn't they, recently? But you've got Cunha, Leicester away, Man United at home. And you've still got João Pedro with West Ham away, Brentford at home, if you did need to spend a bit less. I know they didn't do great in the week that we all bought them in, did they? But they're still good picks, still got pens. So there's a few. Ideal defensive lineup for game week 16. So if you have already played your goal bonus, then you're okay looking at improving your defense, really, aren't you?
Yeah. If I had to pick my ideal defense, it would be Trent, Gvardiol, and Gabriel.
Still feeling Gvardiol, even with the
Yeah, just because potential can score in any game. He just gets so high up the pitch. I brought him in for my goal boost and he scored. Because I was like, I'm in an hour over him and Rico Lewis.
Oh, yeah, that was it, yeah.
Rico Lewis was cheaper and he was getting high up the pitch and all this, but he just never seemed to shoot. And then this week he scored a goal, hasn't he?
Yeah,
but
got sent off as well, though.
Yeah.
Shame.
Gvardiol seems to just be always involved, doesn't he? So I like to get attacking. Try and get attacking defenders in if you can for this for this goal boost.
Yeah, I'd be half tempted maybe to go for obviously a Trent. I think Trent's a really good pick. I also don't think it would be bad to go for like a Virgil. The price difference isn't much in it though. And obviously Arsenal and their set pieces at the minute, I think you can't go wrong with a Saliba or Gabriel. I think they do look quite dangerous, don't they? So yeah, even a Porro. I know they're leaking goals, aren't they? But he has got attacking threat and he's a bit cheaper. I would consider him potentially just for this 1 week, but I keep getting caught up on it a little bit, thinking like goals are double.
Yeah.
Do you know how like part of the bus was? It was double points, wasn't it? It's not quite double, is it? So you're probably better off having a good defense with a bit of attacking threat and then hope to get the clean sheet as a priority, maybe. Don't know.
It was 10 points, weren't it, in the Euros, wasn't it?
Yeah, they reduced it.
Yeah.
Don't know why they reduced it. I didn't even get a goal when I played it in the Euro, so I'm not expecting much. Yeah, if you can't get a goal with Harry Kane and Mbappe, I'm not really fancying my chances for this. But yeah, I think Liverpool and Arsenal would be the way to go for me. You got any under the radar gems out there that people aren't talking about for DT Patrick? They won't be under the radar if you do.
What game week is this for?
I'm guessing this. He hasn't said the game week, but
have you got any?
I struggled for under the radar. I am keeping. Yeah, his goal's been ruled out now, but yeah, I had put Kudus down as one to watch because he does fall into that bonus category, doesn't he? And I do think with like sort of the one, well, not one game a week, but without any Europe, it's a level playing field again, isn't it? And I do like these players. I think that he's got the bonus, but he has got the attacking returns as well, so he could be an okay one. But yeah, other than that, I don't want to drift too far from the European players, to be honest. I will have a couple outsiders.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going for Game Week 15 players, I'd just be looking at players that are going to be doubling this week. And players like Gordon, Livramento is decent for 2.9 million. I think he'd be a good hold for the next 3 weeks. Obviously, Isak's going to be a decent differential.
I guess Bruno G could be back in there. He doesn't seem to have got the same. Don't seem to have got the attacking returns that he was getting last season, but he's got a couple of assists against Liverpool.
Yeah, smashing the bonus, isn't he? Yeah. So that's it, really. Like Kulusevski could be a decent pick for next week. Obviously, Brennan Johnson got Southampton, haven't they? And Man United at home. It's not. There's obviously it's Carabao Cup next week, so you just want to be targeting players from that. So yeah, maybe Diaz. I do like the look of Diaz. Fulham at home and Southampton at home as well. Or it could be a Gakpo target, something like that, second fixture. Or you could do like we were mentioning before, the Conference League game and go for an Nkunku or a Felix.
Yeah, I think I want to go for that same sort of thinking that I had at the start of the season, where just nailed 2 near enough 90-minute players. You might get unlucky, but I just think it could, to have a week where you don't end up with a did not play, could just be the difference between a green arrow. I think like it's so frustrating, isn't it? When you've had Martinelli, you've had quite a few of those that have ended up with a blank, haven't you? And it's the worst. It's the worst feeling, isn't it?
3 weeks on a trot, I've had Martinelli not played the weekend.
I think I'd rather try and get that Kudus or Eze, Mbumo, someone that you know is just definitely going to get, whether even if it's 2 pointers, you're going to get something.
Yeah. Mateta?
Maybe. Our strategic captain pick's going to separate the best from the rest from here on in, because it has started to get a little bit template, hasn't it? I do think there's some good picks here, and we've seen the last couple of game weeks though the captaincy swings have been different. I think a lot of it's down to Haaland not being at his full force. So Saka 54% of the captaincy this week, but obviously Salah probably would have taken a big chunk of that, wouldn't he, if the game wasn't called off?
No, last season 9% of the top 1K would have been without a captain there, wouldn't they? Because we didn't have vice captain last year.
Yeah. Would you, if there wasn't a vice, would you have just gone for someone else? Well, I suppose we would have still known, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
We knew before the deadline, didn't we? So I do think that's going to probably be the biggest thing to change teams up, because if you do look at like the top 100 and stuff, it is very similar. I think there's good enough picks at this time, isn't there, to do it?
Yeah, I just think it's got to be the right time to do it. Like, I could have gone for Watkins captain this week, but I just think it's like I say, it's a good differential already. So I'd rather just go for a safe captain and get the double points from that, and then hopefully my transfer that I brought in is differential enough to gain on the other people.
Yeah. Yeah, I still quite often go quite safe on the armband. It's going to be tough though these next few, and we'll come on to the goal bonus captaincy in a bit. Would you play max captain in game week 16 or 19 if you still had it?
Definitely 19 for me. With the FA Cup, like I said earlier on, the FA Cup fixtures are so unpredictable. So just bang it on there, and then hope one of your players is a differential player that does really well that week.
Yeah, do you know, instinctively I would have said game week 16, but actually last week and this week, hearing your case for game week 19, I think you've sold me on that. Yeah, I think 19 sounds good, because I do think 16 initially would have been my thoughts, but seeing what happened last week, there's loads of good fixtures. It could quite easily be the same again, couldn't it? Where everyone finishes with a pretty decent score. Yeah, I always thought with the max captain that I'd want to try and score as many points as possible, but actually it's just the difference in points, isn't it? That's the swing. What would be his priority for game week 15, David's? Moving off the United defensive assets or getting in Palmer and Isak?
I think it's hard, isn't it? Because we always say, "Oh, don't worry about single game week players," but Palmer's a bit special, isn't he? He's a different breed. I mean, I'm not too fussed about holding the Man United defenders, even though they've got tough fixtures, because the fixtures are quite good for the rest of the December and January period. And I think he'll settle his team down. So, I wouldn't be too fussed about getting rid of like Mazraoui. So, yeah, I'd probably prioritise getting Palmer and Isak in.
Yeah, I'd do that. It's been strange to see the Palmer talk a little bit, because I think this week quite a lot, I'm quite active on Twitter, and obviously we've got a Discord as well, and the whole conversation has been that's just what Palmer can do in a single. He's just as good in a single as others are in a double kind of thing. There's been twice this season where I tried to go early on Palmer, wasn't it? There was once earlier in the season, I think it was Carabao Cup in game week 8, but he had a nice fixture the week before. So I think I bought him in a week early to try and get him in, and he got 8 points, and I bought him in for Trent, who got 10. I was like, it's a bit underwhelming. And then it was kind of a case of, the doublers just outdo them. And then I did it again the other week, didn't I? So I bought Palmer in for Leicester, got him in a week early, and he only got a 4-pointer. And I took Solanke out, who got 12. Again, across 2 games, he did pretty well. So, yeah, it's not always going to be the case. There are going to be blanks in there. There were a couple disappointing results in there, but there's not many players, is there, that can go off like that, 28 points.
But then if you go look at it from my point of view, the only reason I got Martinelli in my team was because he had a double game week that week and he was going up 0.3. And if I just went to Palmer that week instead of messing around with Martinelli as because he wasn't meant to stay in my team. He was meant to go after the first week, but I think Garnacho, I just took him out for some reason because I thought that thought he'd get rotated, and he did. So ended up staying with Martinelli, and I thought, oh, Martinelli's had his rest now, and then he's ended up being rested last week, and I thought, oh, I should start the next Premier League match, and he still got rested again. So yeah, maybe I should have just got Palmer in, and then he's in place, but it was just I didn't want to put him in for that single. I think it was Leicester, yeah. You got him in for the Leicester, and I was thinking, oh, it's too bad in the end, but over the last 2 weeks, he's scored. I've had him in my team anyway, but I wouldn't have had Martinelli if I got Palmer earlier.
That's one thing I had been doing is like, I know I got him in early to try and target Leicester, but it was also because I didn't want something to pop up in my team and stop me getting him. So there is always that in there. And I think that's the reason a lot of people didn't take Palmer out, because they want him in 16.
Yeah.
I don't think many people were like, oh, I'm going to just keep hold of him because I think he's going to haul massively against Spurs. I don't think it looked like it was that clear, really. But yeah, class player. That pen was a joke, wasn't it?
Yeah. Both good penalties, weren't they? One was in the side netting and one was just Panenka down the middle.
It's called a chippy chip.
Yeah, chippy chip.
Yeah, no, class. I see myself keeping him. Do you? Even past this? Yeah. Miss Noopy. So needs to take out Digne. Brackets single game week, or Maz minutes risk. Which one? Who would you take out as a priority first?
Probably Aston Villa defender. Single game week next week, and then they go into a tough double with Man City and Newcastle and Brighton at home after that. So yeah, that I think Mazraoui can score points from literally tackles. He gets a lot of tackles, and he's one of the highest tackles in the game. So yeah, Mazraoui, I like Mazraoui, even though he didn't start last week. I think he's still a good hold.
Yeah, I've said the same. I'd probably get Digne out first, I think. And like you, I do think that this eventually will calm down a bit. Yeah. Especially now as well. Like, it's kind of two disappointing results on the bounce now, isn't it? So he's got he's not under pressure, obviously, or anything, but I do think he's going to want to settle it down. And then she's looking at Liverpool defence. She has no Arsenal defender. So looking to add Gabriel, thinking of Gomez or Timber or Robertson. Who would you choose out of those three? Oh, sorry. Looking for another Arsenal defender to add to Gabriel.
Obviously, Timber looks pretty nailed in the back line and could be a long-term hold. Gomez, I do like the look of that for 3.1. It just depends if you can afford Timber. If you can afford Timber, go with Timber. Robertson, I'm not so sure on. Simicus is back soon, isn't he? Yeah, I think Timber for me.
Yeah, I think Timber's the safest one to go for. I don't mind Gomez. I just want to see what they do in Europe tomorrow. But the annoying thing is, it would have been nice to see what they've done in the Prem as well, because they could have quite easily rotated in both of those. So it's going to add a little bit of confusion to it. But if it sounds like Konate's still going to be out a while, I think I will consider Gomez for my team. But yeah, Timber would be the priority there. I think I'm not keen on Robertson. I don't think he quite looks the same. Do you?
I don't know. It's just that the other month, when Simicas was fit, he like played two games in a row. Then he started 2 games in a row.
It seemed like he fancied Simicas more, really.
Yeah, and when Simicas plays, he takes a lot of set pieces as well, doesn't he? It's a shame, like, he ain't playing for a team that he starts every week for, because he'd be a good dream team asset, I think.
Yeah. I would still consider, as soon as Calafiori's back, I mean, if we see Calafiori's back, I'd still consider him. I really liked having him in my team. 3.7.
Yeah, 3.7, yeah.
Yeah, I think him and Timber are really good options, and the price is still really good as well. Solo arguments for not taking Rico Lewis out. So obviously he's going to be suspended for that game next week, just a single. So he must have some problems in his team if he's considering keeping hold of him.
Yeah, what's he going to miss? Going to miss Man U game, and it's a blank in it. So I think I would sell. I'd sell. Try and get someone in who's got 2 games. It's 2 for 0 then.
I can't believe that. He's dropped to 3 million now.
Yeah.
He's had quite a big fall, isn't it, recently?
Probably dropping again as well.
This says 0.1 rise. Apparently.
What did he get? How many points did he get in the end? 4 points, was it?
Got the goal. Same 5 points.
5
goal,
points.
Shot on target, red card, 2 goals conceded. Yeah, that's a shame. It was never a red, was it?
I'd still sell him if he's not going to play the Man U game.
Just obviously, I'm guessing he's got other priorities. We don't know what they are, but if it's to get an Isak or something instead, would you prioritise the attacking move? Maybe. Maybe drop us the DM or something.
Yeah, if it was out of the 2, I'd definitely keep Vardiol for me.
Wow, Charlie's one. Keep Vardiol.
Sorry, yeah.
Keep Vardiol or Doku next week against a single United. Yeah, it's got to be Vardiol, isn't it? Because you don't know with Doku, he doesn't get 2 a week when it's a double, so you don't know whether he's going to get the single, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, Tony likes Doku, doesn't he? He obviously he's fantastic for this format, but he doesn't start enough games for me. So I think Vardiol can score goals. Obviously, he's a really attacking defender as well, and get clean sheet points whenever Man City actually get a clean sheet. But when they turn it on, he's going to be really important player in your team, I think. So yeah, Vardiol. You might be ahead of the curve if you keep him.
Yeah, agree. Kirite, why does Kulu return every time I plan to take him out? Hey, look at it like this. At least you still got him.
Yeah.
I took him out a couple of weeks ago, and I only took him out because I wanted to play Max Captain. I think he's a great enabler, but I just didn't think he had that ceiling compared to like the big hitters. But I think he's a great pick. I think he does a great job at that price. Would you consider him?
Yeah, definitely. If it's going to enable you to have the best players in your team. Yeah.
And then we've done ideal front 7, really. I think we've covered that. So our man, is Cole Palmer the best captaincy choice for next week? Now, obviously, he isn't a doubler. So at first, I had to get him to clarify if he actually meant this week. Obviously, he's just a single game week for him this week, but we've seen massive number in this single. And then there's no guarantee that your doubler does double. So what are you thinking? We'll tie it all into one question because it's top captain picks for this week as well. So what are you thinking on the armband?
I can't put it on Palmer. I know he's on fire at the minute, but yeah. I mean, he could easily score 15 points, couldn't he, against Brentford? But I heard today, like, Brentford have never lost at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League. But they haven't won a game this year away from home, have they? So, yeah.
Yeah, they're there to be broken though, those sort of things, isn't they? There was something like Palmer had never got a return against Aston Villa, I think it was. I heard someone say on a thing, and then he went and got a goal against them the other day, didn't he? So
yeah, Brentford are got the second best home record in the league and the second worst away record in the league, something like that. It's crazy. Yeah, I think you've got to go for a double game. You've got 2 bites of the cherry, haven't you? So like, Saka stands out for me. 2 home games. Yeah, he might not start the Palace game, but he usually comes on and does spits, doesn't he? In the Carabao Cup, he even played against Bolton, didn't he? The other round.
Yeah. I think he got an early sub in one match and then came on, but
yeah. Salah could play against Fulham. He'll play Fulham. He could play Southampton. So yeah, he's come off the bench and done bits before, loads of times in the cup. So that they're like standouts to me. It's just more minutes, more chance of scoring goals, and both got nice home fixtures as well. So yeah, I think you could probably chance Isak, but I wouldn't do it myself. Just too scared of he'd get injured before the second game.
I'm half thinking maybe Salah, but then maybe they think there's no need for that Southampton. But we'll see what they do against Girona. But if he doesn't end up playing a full match against Girona, then I don't exactly think he's going to need more rest, is he, after not playing the Everton Prem game? Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah, again, it's one of them ones, isn't it? With captaincy, I quite like to sort of play on form if I can. Like, I think what happens in these next couple of Champions League games probably is going to come into my thinking. I think, yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, like in this format, you could probably get away with just captaining Saka, and even if you don't get attack and return,
yeah, steady. You're not going to blank.
Yeah, you're not going to. Hopefully, not blank. Yeah.
Would you do Isak if you bought him in?
I don't think I would. I just think I just like to have him in my team.
The same with the Watkins.
Yeah.
Then last one is that goal bonus captaincy. So obviously that's going to be a big thing when it comes to choosing your captain. Goal bonus 16 sounding pretty popular. Lee Hooper. Looking at playing it, is Haaland a no-brainer for the captaincy with goal boost, or is there an argument to put it on Salah, Cole Palmer, or even Saka with the great fixtures? So Haaland has got Villa and Everton. So Villa away, pretty tough fixture. Everton at home, you'd fancy him for that one. Salah, you'd probably say he's the informed guy along with Palmer at the moment. Spurs away, which on paper tough, but we see what Chelsea just do. And then Leicester at home, you'd fancy Salah in that as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I like them all, mate. Like them all, and it could be a bit similar to game week 13 when we did the max captain, where they're all going to go off.
Everton, Fulham for Palmer. I must have, when we was quite far away, I did say that I did quite like the look of Palmer for that one.
Yeah,
but I do think it takes some cojones. I still think to go for Palmer in that week over. I know he's absolutely smashed it this week, but I don't put him in the same category still as Salah and Haaland for the armband. What do you think? I mean, this would be the differential of all differentials. Pat said about the swings on the captaincy could be big. Like if you decided to go different on this one,
I do think he's up there with Haaland and Salah at the moment. And this game, definitely. I just think he's got so many ways of scoring points. I think it's a really good week. Like when we were looking at this weeks ago, two green fixtures on my ticker. I just think it's a great week to captain him. Could even captain him the week after as well because he's got Ipswich in a single. Because it's a single game week in game week 17.
He does score. He obviously does score, but it's just I'm trying to think of this goal bonus as like straight up goals for the captaincy rather than all round points. Like, do you care that much about the bonus? I mean, it will still add up, won't it? It will still add up.
You've got to go for the goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to hurt if you hit some.
Salah's on fire, isn't he? So you probably would put it on him. I think I prefer Salah to Haaland just because it's Villa away in one of the games for Haaland.
Yeah.
Villa. Then that's when big game Emmy turns up and does the old clean sheets.
It should feel the same way for Spurs away, in theory, shouldn't it? For Salah, but it just doesn't at the moment, the way they're playing.
Yes, at Tottenham, they could be 4-3 or something daft like that.
Or a clean sheet like they did against City. You just don't know which one you're going to get, do you? Yeah, sorry, Lee, mate. We're not much help on this because it is that tight, isn't it? I don't think I'd go Salah. I don't think I'd go Saka. I don't think I would go Saka on the goal bonus.
Yeah. I think it's great though that it's hard because it makes the game more interesting. Not everyone's going for the same players and same captains.
Yeah, it could be quite template in the fact that a lot of people are planning to play this booster on a similar week.
Yeah.
But then it's another factor to mix it up a little bit still. So, yeah, I just don't think Saka's... I said I didn't think Palmer was quite on the goal scoring level yet of Salah Haaland. Saka isn't Palmer's level for goals, I don't think. He scores his fair share, but I'm not giving my goal bonus captain's armband to someone that gives penalties away. If you captain Saka and you give him the goal bonus captaincy and he decides, oh, you know what, Havertz hasn't scored for a little while, I'm going to give him the ball. No, chippy chips. Smashes them for himself, don't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a tough one. I'd lean, if I had to, I'd lean Salah right now.
I agree.
Cool. I think that's all the questions. Oh no, we've done captain picks. That's it. One more. Nobbles. Players to focus on between game week 15 and 19 with no European fixtures, or you keep much the same players barring injury. So are we going to go too far away from the European players, or are we going to take a punt on a few others?
Yeah, definitely keeping all the best players from the best teams, which are obviously in Europe anyway. But yeah, obviously we talked about Newcastle's got a lovely run of fixtures. Leicester, Brentford, Ipswich, Aston Villa, Man United. That could be a nice little punt. We've already on about Eze as well. Obviously not the best fixtures, but he does tick along with different ways of scoring points.
I'm thinking like 2 or 3. I'm thinking like maybe where I've got Erdegaard and I'm not happy. Maybe going Kudus, Mbumo, somewhere there, and maybe one other. Yeah. Like you say, like the Arsenal defense, Liverpool defense. I'm not really looking at other teams going, oh, I wish I could pick this player who's a non-European player defender, because there's just not a standout really at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not going to go like, Ait Nori or something like that.
I mean, there's a few that do okay, don't they, for their price and stuff like that, but now we're pushing 60 mil budget kind of thing.
You're not getting McNeil back in?
If he was in the cup, if he was in the Carabao Cup still, bring my boy home. I feel like I at least owe it to him to get him back in at some point.
The fixtures are tough though, aren't they, over that period?
Yeah.
Arsenal, maybe Man City, Forest.
Maybe like towards the end of the season.
I've just you could get him in for Gameweek 18 double game week.
Just trying to see who they've got.
Bournemouth and Peterborough.
I'm not in the position to mess about at the minute, am I?
we got a long way to go to 18.
Yeah. We'll see. He has still carried it on though, and he's still carrying on to do quite well. Differential captain or differential player, what's more beneficial in your opinion to gain ground?
Obviously, the captain's more beneficial, but I just think it depends on your team, how you're doing, Like in my position, I just think I'm doing all right. I'm in the top 300-ish. So just picking decent captains and getting the odd differential player in, hoping they'll do well. It's just horrible feeling when you pick a differential captain and it doesn't go off, like a João Pedro or something like that, and then they don't score, and you think, like against Southampton, went it the other week,
Yeah,
or Cunha against the last 2 games. Cunha's done nothing, and he's been on fire before that. I don't know. I just think you got more chance of getting points out of a Saka, a Salah, a Palmer, a Haaland, something like that.
that's why they're like expensive, is because they're consistent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There will be opportunities down the line. Like, if you want to do it, you could go for one in Game Week 18. Like, go for McNeil, double Game Week player. Potentially, only Fulham. Obviously, only Fulham and Everton have got double Game Weeks at the moment. But if you look at the ticker, Carabao Cup semi-final, first leg is in that game week as well. So whoever's still in the cup could have a double game week there, and then you'll just go, no, I'm not going to bother with that, because Arsenal might be still in the cup, Liverpool's still in it, Man United, Tottenham, Newcastle, Palace. So there's players from them teams. Eze might be a good captain that week, double game week.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's going to be that's probably going to be it, isn't it? The differential player, because like we've named quite a few there. If it could be getting, even if it's just 2 players, it could just be getting the right one out of Eze, Kudus, Bowen, Isak. Can't have them all, so the player pool definitely opening back up again. You can't have them all, but you don't want too many, I don't think.
Yeah, I differential captain the same game week last year when Palace had a double game week, and I don't think anybody else. Well, I think Everton did as well, but Olise, he went off in the first match, and I had him as captain, but then he got injured for the second match. Imagine if I had him for both, would have been really good. But he was still ended up being a good captain, but it was like a single game week player in the end.
We spoke about in the Discord earlier where we were talking about double game week players versus single game week players, and someone mentioned the Watkins. It was the Watkins double game week versus the Haaland single, wasn't it? And Haaland did he get the hat trick? I think he got the hat trick in the single, and Watkins, I think, didn't do anything. So
yeah,
it can happen. And if you could choose an extra booster for Christmas, what would you choose?
But as you know, I don't like the boosters, but if I had a booster, I like the old FPL one they used to have, which called All Out Attack, and you literally could put 3 strikers and 5 midfielders in the team, and you just had 2 defenders, something like that maybe.
I'd heard people speak about that, but I don't think I was playing at the time, and that was there. I think I've only played like the last 3 years, I think, or 4.
And then your team goes back to how it used to be.
Yeah, a free hit would be all right, or just. Well, I think a free hit would look quite similar to what the teams are like now, because the budget.
I wouldn't mind a wild card just to use whenever you wanted to use it.
Yeah, that season was good, wasn't it? Where the wild card was like. Was it everyone at the same time though, wasn't it?
Everyone at the same time, because it was after the World Cup, weren't it?
Yeah,
World Cup was in December.
That's the only thing. Wild card all at the same time. Everyone kind of wild cards into the same thing, though, don't they? That's what was happening with Sky. So, like, I think a wild card that you could use when you wanted would be all right.
Yeah.
I want a Christmas part of the bus. Bring that back. I like that. That's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, cheers, Noel. He says thanks for all the hard work you put in over the year and bringing us Sun Dream Team addicts together. Really appreciate your efforts and hope you guys have a great Christmas and a points full new year. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Noel.
Yeah, cheers everyone as well. We'll wrap it up on that. So cheers to everyone that's joined us in the chat this evening. And obviously, if you do want to become one of our Patreon members or YouTube channel members, there's a link in the description below for it, or you can hit that join button. Yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Catch you later, Ben.
Yep. Cheers, everyone.
Bye-bye.